You know what's wild? Britain's finally made it to space. And I'm not talking about that one astronaut who got lost on the way to the moon and ended up in a Dublin pub. No, I mean actual British people in actual space, which is just a polite way of saying they're now annoying aliens with their queuing and apologizing. They're like the in-laws of the galaxy, showing up uninvited, saying sorry for existing, and asking if they can bring a nice bottle of wine to the next intergalactic barbecue. I mean, can you imagine the first contact with an alien species? And it's a Brit going, "Oh, hello, sorry to disturb. Do you mind if we just, observe your planet for a bit? We promise not to leave a mess or anything." And then there's the food, because of course the British in space are still eating bangers and mash. But now it's out of a packet, heated up with a lighter, and served with a side of freeze-dried disappointment. It's like they're trying to recreate the magic of a British summer, but in zero gravity. So the only thing that's still reliably British is the disappointment. But you know what they say? When in Rome, so when in space, the British do what they do best. They form a queue and then they complain about the queue. And then they write a strongly worded letter to the Galactic Times about the queue. It's like they're trying to colonize the cosmos with their bureaucracy and love of orderly lines. And have you seen their spacesuits? They look like they were designed by a committee that included your aunt, a retired accountant, and a faintly embarrassed David Beckham. It's all, "We're going to space, old chap, but first let's make sure our suits are properly knitted and have a nice cup of tea in the helmet." But in all seriousness, the real challenge for British people in space isn't the lack of atmosphere or the vast distances. It's trying to find a spot of tea that's stronger than a whispered apology. That's the final frontier, not the stars, but a decent cuppa in the void. And when they finally do find it, they'll probably just complain that it's not as good as the one they had back in the Shropshire village they left behind. That's British people in space, still polite, still puzzled, and still managing to make a nice cup of tea, the most epic adventure of all.